off-road with a fair amount of different people.
Yeah, for sure.
We are talking about two things. They're very easy to master and very important in my opinion. These two things are things that even veteran riders overlook a lot of times. I don't know if it's overlook or just they don't care. So the first thing...
Or an effort. I don't want to put an effort in.
The first thing is check the air pressure in your tires before you go for a ride. Check the air pressure in your tires before you go for a ride. That is something that I do every ride. Now, I have on occasion, and not very often, if we're just going maybe for a few minutes and we just rode like a day or two previous, I may not check them. But like tonight, we're going for a few hours. We just got the bike back from our 1,000-mile service, by the way. They're supposed to check the air pressure, and they probably did, I don't know. But I checked it to make sure that it had the proper air pressure in the tires. That is, you have two tires on a motorcycle, and there is not much touching the pavement. If you don't have the proper tire pressure, you're not going to have good traction. Now, I seen a study, and I'm not saying this is the be-all, end-all studies, but I seen a study that was several months long. They put sensors on the motorcycles. They might have had them on the riders too. The majority of the accidents was self-inflicted, basically. You know, everybody hears, oh, cars run into the back of you, and I know it happens. It happens a lot, but that's what you hear about because that's what people post. Most people are not going to get on the internet and say, oh, you know, I was an idiot, I did this, and that's why I wrecked. They're going to get on there, can you believe it, this guy he ran into the back of me, and that's what you're going to hear. But the majority of the accidents in this study, and I forget how many, they studied quite a few bikers, motorcyclists. Most of the accidents were either like in parking lots, slow maneuvering, which I don't know if I consider that an accident, but slow maneuvering, or out on the road in like a corner.
And this is with them knowing that they're going, I don't want to say watched over,
being monitored.
Right.
Yes.
And so think about if people didn't know they're being monitored, how they would react, you know what I mean?
Right, they're not going to be as cautious. I'm sure you could do 10 other studies and come up with different results, but it just shows you that a lot of the things that happen could possibly be avoided. So be responsible. Check the air pressure of your tires.
5 minutes, stop.
I mean, yes, it doesn't take long, and which, one thing I want to mention, this 2020 Road Glide Limited has 90-degree valve stems, and thank you, Harley-Davidson. I love you. I mean, that makes it so much easier. I had a little bitty compact digital tire gauge, and I mean, it's little. It's only yay big, and you could fit in there, but it's still, and it like had a swivel head. You could rotate it like different degrees and stuff, and it was still difficult to get in that back wheel on that Ultra Limited. These 90-degree valve stems. Sorry, people. See, that's why you have proper air pressure in case you have to brake hard. So low tire pressure or even too much, you know. Too much air pressure, you're not going to have as much contact in the road. You have too little, and you're going to have ill handling tires. Braking's not going to be good. Plus, you're wearing your tires out. I mean, these things aren't cheap. So take a few minutes, check the air pressure in your tires, save yourself some money, and keep yourself safe, you know. I mean, you going in a corner, I want all the traction I can get. So, that's number one. That's the number one thing I wanted to talk to you about. And these aren't in any order. The number two thing that I wanted to mention is suspension. Guys, and I'm not saying every bike comes with the best suspension, but set your suspension up. I mean, don't just neglect it. Don't put a passenger on the back and leave it the same as you had it set for yourself. That is dangerous. If your suspension is not set up correctly, you're going to have a bad handling motorcycle. I mean,
I do not want to kiss the pavement.
Exactly, especially if you have a passenger on the back. I mean, you have a huge responsibility. So, I mean, every time, the only time I don't change it is usually if I'm running up to the dealer for a service or something, and I should. But if we're out for a ride, if I'm by myself, which is rare, but I change it for a single person setting.
When you go to the dealer, you're riding solo. I follow in the car.
Yeah. Check your manual, and if you don't have a manual, I'm sure you can find it online. But check the manual. They have settings in there for different weights of rider, weights for your passenger, and then if you have any gear, that you need to account for all of that.
Because if you're traveling, it's not going to be going out for a day. If you're traveling, you're going to weigh a lot more.
Well, yeah. I mean, we always upped it more when we were traveling because we had a lot of gear or whatever, you know, clothes, whatever.
Not my fault.
Well, no. No, I'm not saying that, but
I'm just messing with you.
I can't tell you how many different people that we've talked to that don't check their air pressure regularly and don't check their suspension.
All we've heard people say is that I haven't checked my air pressure about 4 months.
Yeah, or all year. And it might be, you know, probably 4 months into the season or something.
We do not want to see you go down.
It makes a huge difference. The bike is going to handle a lot better. It's going to be more enjoyable for everyone that's on it. You as the rider and the passenger is going to be more comfortable. It's going to handle better. It's going to handle easier. And it don't take that long.
Probably don't have to manhandle it much, huh?
No, yeah, it's a lot easier. Yeah, if the suspension's set up right. Now I do know with air shocks, you get some of them you got to get a special gauge, maybe pump and all that. And it's not cheap, but spend the money and get it. I mean, it can be dangerous, like I said. So keep those two things in mind, guys. You know, we have a responsibility to ourselves, really to everyone riding, because every accident increases the risk of, statistically, of others having an accident. And it's going to raise insurance rates for all of us. Accidents are going to happen. I mean, I'm not saying that you should never have an accident. Things will happen. But those are two easy steps you can take to reduce the chances.
Dude, that's something you have control over. Where somebody else is driving, you do not have control over that.
That's true. Good point. That is something, yeah. I mean, you have control over those two items. So anyways, guys, we thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. and we'll talk to you later. See ya.